You can do it. You can be the next champion.
I want him off my patch.
If they want a battle, I'm ready for war. I come from the struggle and love all the trouble. I've been here before.
Watch me kill him.
Can't happen. I need him for something. Plans are forming.
It's high time now, brother.
If they want a battle, I'm ready for war.
He doesn't get to just walk in here and take everything from me.
I'm done and I'm sick of the talk, the smiling faces, not anymore.
He's already taken it all.
In the door, been in the gutter, I come from the mud, I can give you a talk.
And you just let him.
Guys, hello. Congratulations on the series, which I loved. I watched it all in one sitting.
Amazing.
Which is
Wow. Wow.
rare for me.
Yeah.
James, I want to start with you, though, because you have some background in boxing, I discovered. When you were first cast in this role, did you feel you needed extra training, or were you ready to just jump straight into the ring?
No, I mean, it's like, what, 130, 140 years prior?
Yeah.
So I remember speaking to, like, I've got mates who are, like, professional boxers. Some of them are world champions, blah, blah, blah. And, like, they were like, what? I was like, yeah. And it's about the start of Lonsdale and the Queensberry rules and all this. And they was, like, really impressed that I was about to go and do a show like this. And they wanted to learn more about it. And they were just like, oh, okay, well, this, that, and the other. So then when it came to, because they built a gym for us on the set, and we had trainers come in. And whereas, like, now it's, you know, tucked up, it's quite tight. Back then, it's all stiff and upright. And we had to learn how to box and, you know, throw a jab. And it was like, we're getting paid to do this. You know, it's brilliant experience.
Yeah. So you've played unlikable characters before, and staying on the boxing theme, I saw in a previous interview that when you played a particularly nasty one in Time at your gym, people were eager to like box you straight after. Do you think that after people see this show, they will be wanting to box you even more?
No. I think there's a side of Treacle that what Stephen's done so well with this is every character you root for when you're watching it, you don't watch someone and go, oh, I don't like him. He wrote three-dimensional characters, so even if you don't agree with someone doing something, you understand why they're doing it. And that's the beauty of Stephen's writing, is we all understand why everyone is doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I think you watch this and you're like, yeah, I want to be a 40 elephant, or I want to be a Goodson brother, or I want to be Punch's mate. Or, you know, like, I think the audience will want to be involved in the world.
Seamless transition to Francis. Hello. I mean, on a more serious note, I mean, we don't generally see stories during this period that depict the sort of the immigrant experience in Britain. I just want to know, I mean, discovering whilst researching that, you know, as a child, you also emigrated from Jamaica. I mean, do you feel that your characters' experiences, even though they're over a century removed, mirror your own?
I think in some ways, but I think that's like experiences are universal to all people. I think we all have, you know, we all have a Hamlet in us. We all have, you know, an Othello in us. We've all felt those emotions. I think the idea that, you know, Alec left the place that he loved to come here to like seek bigger and better opportunities is a universal thing with all immigrants. You know what I mean? I think that's the dream is the thing that drives you to move. You know, and I think that's what we shared. Definitely.
Yeah. Did you feel like a weight on your shoulders at like doing justice to this generation whose stories just rarely get told?
I mean, like, I think there's always a slight pressure to tell stories with integrity for me, we will share that sentiment. I think, you know, the truth telling of experiences is important. You know, we have the ability to rewrite history when we make films, and we must hold that with care. You know, I think being integral and making sure that, you know, someone's truth comes across is important. You know, it's worth something. And Alec, you know, is a real person. So, you know, I think he has a family that will see this person being represented, and like the truth deserves to be told.
I mean, Jason, on a similar note, I just don't recall seeing many stories set in this period about sort of the Asian immigrant experience. I mean, was this just like a completely fresh take when you read the script?
Yeah, I had never seen a character like this written in a British or American TV show or film. So I was really pleasantly surprised. And also just that he was treated with such care. And sometimes I'll get scripts, you know, set in the West, and the Chinese characters are a bit, you know, just they're just a bit caricaturish or a bit stereotyped or just a bit of cultural tourism going on, and so just to read such a well-written character was surprising, and of course such a privilege to play, and going back to feeling. I've traveled all over the world, worked all over the world, and I've met so many Chinese people from all places, and they all have similar, familiar stories. It's like, so in that sense, it wasn't surprising, but it was just surprising that someone in the UK would take the time to write it and put it on film.
Yeah. I mean, would you say that the reason it feels so fresh about the immigrant experience is because it tackles it from a class lens? It's very much about the working class struggle in general, all these stories.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's, that class, set in East London, in this underbelly world, from the Blue Coat Boy to the Green Dolphin. Yeah, it's absolutely about class.
I mean, it's layered. There's so many layers to it. I think ultimately class is one layer. There's racism was rife at this time as well, but it doesn't focus on any one thing because the overall fight is surviving. When you're in a place like the East End like that, it becomes about living and going after the dreams that you've aspired to kind of reach. And I think that is the thing that kind of takes precedent. Is that our dreams. Every one of the characters have a dream that they're trying to pursue and they're trying to get, and things come in their way, but they're always trying to overcome those things, as opposed to using it as reasons to sit back and not move forward.
Yeah. So Daniel, last but by certainly no means least, I'm getting to you, and your character is very much a showman. He very much is in command.
Don't know why they cast me.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was miffed.
but I mean, it's one of those surprising things where you think that actors all have this ability to just turn on that charisma and charm, but for some, it's a struggle because they're just used to playing internal characters. Did you feel like this was a character you could just turn on and be in that lively headspace?
It's just a gift of a part, really. I mean, his function is to just whip the audience up into a frenzy, and I have to tip my hat to the 150 extras that were there on set with us every day, because they were integral to creating that electric atmosphere, along with obviously all the boxing fights. It was just a privilege to be on that set with that company of actors with this material. It was a privilege and a joy, and it kind of really just took care of itself.
Yeah.
Let me just say, by the way, while Danny was shooting that, he was doing a play overnight.
Oh, right, okay.
I was in a musical, Guys and Dolls, at the Bridge Theatre. So
Right, okay.
I was basically playing two very extrovert characters. So it's funny how the characters bled into one another. There's lots of pratfalls and hat spins that I was doing as Nathan Detroit that seemed to slip into the performance. I shouldn't really be telling you that because I'm giving you away my secrets, but I was definitely in showman mode.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds quite exhausting.
It was the most exhausting thing I've ever done in my life, seriously.
Wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I was really looked after, and I would come into set and they'd give me honey, lemon and ginger, and I slept in the makeup chair while they put the mutton chops on. I mastered the power of power naps on set, but I was really existing on about 5 hours sleep. So they'd wrap me at R5 and get me away on a taxi bike, and then I had to go and do the performance. Yeah, I will never do that again. I can't say it was a particularly healthy thing to do, but I was mightily glad I made the sacrifice because I'm obviously involved in this exceptional new show. So the sacrifice was really worth it.
So would you say you suffered more than the guys who were doing boxing?
Stamina-wise, I mean, no, these guys had to. These guys had to reproduce that fight over and over and over and over. But the thing that really took damage was my vocal cords. So there was times where I was going in to do Guys and Dolls where I because obviously like punches from the throat. And there was a couple of times I used to get to the theatre and go, because I was radio mic'd in the musical, I said, can you turn it up to 10? I need a bit of help.
Yeah.
So that happened a few times.
Wow.
Well, you wouldn't know from the performance. But guys, congratulations again on the show. I had a fantastic time with it. It's been a pleasure speaking to you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.